Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis wants her former flame to keep quiet during tomorrow's testimony at the nation's capital. She sent a letter to the House Judiciary Committee saying her office has instructed Nathan Wade not to talk about confidential or privileged information. Willis is concerned that Wade's testimony would interfere with the Georgia indictment against former President Donald Trump. Willis hired Wade as a special prosecutor. He took himself off the case after a very public revelation that the two had been dating.